question is, how is it that you get paid? How are you monetizing your app or your service?
Well, sorry. I know how to monetize. I see the monetization. How do you actually get paid? Do you use credit card, bank account, or checks, or cash?
Basically, if we launch it using iOS, using Apple, initially you can charge it using the in-app purchase. It's automatically deducted to your iTunes account. That's our initial platform, but later on we'll add some more.
Sure.
Ours is we plan to integrate a third-party payment gateway like PayPal and Stripe, also just to payment wall, so we might integrate it.
We're also currently working with third-party companies. Also, Payment Wall we had met with last month. It's a pretty good company, but we also take wire transfers and wire transfers to the account.
Why not credit card?
A credit card, yeah, through our third-party merchants accounts.
Oh, use a merchant account?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So it sounds like they're not storing your personal data. So next question? Back there?
Question for Shulun. We are realtors. We are realtors.
Realtors, yes.
So we do a lot of marketing and poster and flyers. So can you help us?
Yes, definitely. We actually have plans morely to launch it in Singapore because Singapore's real estate is very big. But we have created overlays specific for realtors. Plus, we have a very good feature coming on just for realtors.
So it's more global.
Yes, it doesn't limit anybody to actually use our product. Anywhere in the world is okay. Thank you for asking the question.
Yes, there's many applications, ones that weren't even mentioned in the presentations. Mateo?
My question is also for Shoot and Sell. Have you seen other competitors in the market with products similar to yours coming out with platforms or apps right now? Because I've seen a couple very similar from all over. A Ukrainian company by the name of Photozine just launched an app the other day.
Basically, we are kind of like different in a sense that there's a lot of photo filter apps, right? You have to do it manually, you have to do it on your own, and it takes you time. And you never know if the result will be something professional looking. But with our app, you just add very simple details, it's just the details that you need, and automatically we generate you a professional looking ad, which is compared to an ad that you actually have to type in from one point to another and stuff. Automatically, you can just choose overlays on our part. Something like that. It's, basically, most photo filter apps gives you the ability to type in text, to add in that, but it's not actually a professional looking ad. It will be just an ad. Technically, you created an ad like this, but if you want to have a very good presence, you have to have like a professional looking presence online and offline, something like that.
And it sounds like they're maybe going to be covering the Europe market, but Shoot and Sell has a big start in Asia already. So thanks for, you should probably talk to them, look into it. And Dennis just had an IP session with them earlier, so they might be. Yes?
Yeah, for PageSnap, what advantages does PageSnap have, say for example, like Shopify or like Big Cartel, those companies that have existing plugins to Facebook pages?
The main advantage of us is our platform is instant. So it's for dummies. You don't need to configure anything. Just click, and you have your own app. The second advantage is that it's convenient and convenient also, easy to use. So we actually decided to be used even if late boomers, those are non-thinking person can use it. And the other thing is that we go native mobile, meaning that we respect or get importance of user experience. So Android app, we decided as Android app, iOS as an iOS app. So if you are an iOS user, you get to use the app. If you are Android users, the app we generate is not like, doesn't look like a iOS app, it's an Android app. So user experience is our priority.
it's a native app or web app?
Native app. It's actually a native app. Shopify is a HTML5 app. It's a mobile web. We are in the direction of native app.
Got it. Okay.
And to add to that also is because we're creating a dedicated mobile application for you, it's not just mobile commerce that we're providing, but also the branding for the company. Say you have your business, you have your own mobile commerce app. You have different templates there that we're going to provide specifically designed for different categories, so that's branding for you.
On a macro level, I'd like to add to what they answered. What are the advantages of their platforms to your business here? I see some international developers here too. The Philippines is now a 100 million population market, and that's part of the ASEAN market that's 600 million people, and that's the size of the EU. So that's going to market in the other side of the world, the most fastly growing part of the world economic-wise.
So you said that it's a native app. Do you generate an app that you have to submit to the App Store, or do you have your own app and then people must download your app that you generate and then you search your stores?
Our first approach is individual app. We have also thought of just one app. So we're validating it if the customer want an individual app or a single app like a marketplace. So to answer your question, right now it's an individual app that we host it. For the Android, we can host it in our own or submit in the App Store, Play Store, or the iOS, we submit in the App Store.
So you're the ones that can submit.
Yeah, actually we are going to assess the users if they want the app to be under their account.
Okay, any other questions?
I have one for Page's app. I noticed like in your slide that you talked about 36% of your funding for marketing. So I thought like, what were the things were you thinking about when you factored in that number? What kind of marketing activities do you guys need? Just curious.
Okay, first primarily we're gonna touch on with the Facebook ads. Primarily because we are focusing on Facebook pages, right? So at the same time, we're also going to direct selling. So we already have some people gonna work with that, and apart from that, we're also partnering with different agencies. Like we already have ongoing an ongoing talk with one agency, ad agency, and one SME focused organization in the Philippines, and we're also already in talk with one US-based partnership. So we had several items, and at the same time, we are also currently discussing with one advertising company here in the US, and hopefully we're going to close it. So that's where it goes.
So basically you're going to spend all the money on partnerships then, that's what I heard.
Yes, and also with online marketing.
Question for Richie.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I know Poshmark is a niche market, but how do you compare yourself in terms of, if there's a ballpark figure, what percentage does it go to customers when you start? So it's really
Is it for what specific question are you?
So,
Sale?
yeah.
Basically, initially, we don't get any commission first from the sales, but we can actually sell filters first. Those professional looking filters for you guys, for business owners to actually create very awesome ads which you can share. But later on, our goal is to actually aggregate all the social media ads, wherein we can get commissions from those stuff. So, but initially, your sale, if you sold it for 100 pesos, therefore it's all yours. You don't get any commissions as a moment.
Is there a time frame where you can transition
for me, I give it at least a year to do that because I want to understand more on how we can actually leverage a platform for them to actually have a very good marketing position using online presence, having online presence. And then later we'll think of ways, to earn money. It's just simple.
Any other audience questions?
So is your app currently available on iTunes already?
Not yet, but we will release it. We will release it within this month.
Okay.
Yes.
So you just pay whatever the cost is for the app, and then, or is it a free app? that you get?
Initially, it would be a free app, but we will add in-app purchases. In-app purchases is something that you can buy, and if you like a filter that you want to add in on your poster, all you have to do is just buy it, just like if you buy an app. So no need, it automatically deducts from your credit card. We don't worry about it. And Apple would give us like 70% of the share, and 30% goes to Apple. So it's as simple as that. We earn money from, just making things simple. Something like that.
Okay, one last question.
For Snapchat, you mentioned physical printing. Yeah. Physical. Yes. Juncel.
Yes.
Juncel. You mentioned physical printing of the apps that you make in your app.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit how that, the logistics work? I mean, shipping physical products and.
No. It's basically simple. You can print it directly from your printer.
Oh, it's printing. Okay.
Yeah, you can print it directly from your printer, right?
Like a PDF or something.
Yeah, basically something like that. So if you want somebody else to do it for you,
Yeah.
you can just go give it to FedEx, and they'll print it in a bigger size, bigger resolution, and then ship it to your home.
So you have high res.
Yeah, we have high resolution. So we don't worry more on the logistics. We just help people create, beautiful ads.
So we're going to start wrapping up. One of the questions I wanted to ask before you guys left us to go back to Asia is, how has your experience in Silicon Valley shifted your perspective of how you're approaching your business? What are some examples of some meetings you've had with potential investors that have led you to think bigger, and how have you changed?
So yes, one of the most common question that we get from investors is that are we going to operate in the Philippines or are we going to operate here in the US? Well, I think I get the gist now, because most of the investors right now are conscious of the level of trust, right? It's hard to trust people that you can see, and that's why we are actually thinking, looking for people, business development people here in the US who can be our partners, who can work together with us for us to have a US presence. And yes, we are open to incorporate in the US.
On my part, I think the team Shouldn't Sell had a very great journey here in Angel Hack and TechCrunch, because we met a lot of new friends. We learned a lot of new things, and we actually have seen so much possibility in using our skills, not just in developing software, but you can actually improve hardware, which would be the next trend in the future. But of course, we also believe that each and everyone should understand that design is always important, and you have to understand your customers in building your product. So for me, it's like an eye-opener, because I want to understand what's so different here in Silicon Valley. What's so different, right? I mean, how can you actually bring this? Now, I'm not telling you to bring it in the Philippines, but how can you encourage Filipinos to have the same passion, same drive, or same vision in the future to improve not just Philippines, but change the world, something like that. So I think it's a very good experience.
Yeah.
So if you like to see something.
Mine is the exposure to the different tech ideas, the different APIs that we got to learn about. So it opened us to the many possibilities that we can still do and bring home to Asia.
Mine is actually meeting awesome people, passionate people, so startup founders, investors, and all the likes. So it's an honor, and today it's our honor to meet you all guys. And also meeting in person our supporters and staff and science. It's a great honor, and thank you very much for your support.
So we're based here in San Francisco. That's why I wasn't going to answer. But I just wanted to say I went to go watch Angel Hack over in Silicon Valley, and then when I saw them, I'm like, oh, Filipino. I was really excited. It was great. And then we got to chat, and I told them that, hey, thank you for doing this, because our job is to promote you guys here, pretty much, at the high level, right? So yeah, that was cool. Thanks. That's it.
And just to add up, I thought it was really a good experience here in the SF. Well, primarily because things runs fast here. Because you got, let's say for example, let's say question. You got to see there different startups, different people you can partner with, different investors, different devs. It's very easy to talk to people. And it would be great if this kind of events would also be present in the Philippines. It would be awesome.
So this is not the end. There's still time to network. I strongly suggest that each of you try to talk to each of them even for just a couple of minutes. There's an opportunity for everyone. Each of them are trying to get funded. If you want to get early, if you believe in their business model at this stage, they might grow to be a giant later on. And you have that opportunity to invest or grow your business if you're a practitioner, if you're a nursing practitioner, you can do medical transcription work with these guys. There's a lot of possibilities. So there's networking golden opportunity here. Thank you very much all for coming. Oh, sorry.
Okay, one more. I just like it. This is, I think you don't know this guy, Nico here. He won one of my idols here. No. Yeah, she's staying here in San Francisco. Come on. No. I met this guy in the Philippines. Of course, I've been there joining competitions, and he was one team, literally one-man team, and he beat all the developers in the competition and won. I think there's like 80 teams, right? And he's just one individual technically, and he beat all of them.
But before we network and before we close, we're going to have our chairman actually share some closing remarks. But before then, I'd like to do a couple of call-outs. The first call-out is Shoot and Sell team is from Ateneo, my alma mater. So yes, you go. Second call-out is we have a couple of visitors here who have actually started their own companies. We have a guest tonight, his first time to an event, who did an outreach to one of our board members, Jojo Flores. Ray, who's actually a transplant from New York, Filipino, started his own startup. It's called localbigwig.com. You can find temporary local housing, but he started his own business, so special call out to Ray. We also have the team from Payment Wall. Manuel Prince is here. He does business both in the Philippines and here, and I know he's Trade Commissioner Mike Ignacio has been working closely with him. So I want to thank them and also recognize them for all their efforts in building the business community in the Philippines. And with that, I'd like one of the founders of Stack and our chairman, Attorney Dennis Fernandez, to share some of his closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, everybody. I just want to give some perspective because it's like the Olympics, they pass the torch every 4 years. In 1990, we had a group in Palo Alto. We had a dream. We wanted to help the Philippines because at the time Dado just had his first IPO and was planning a second one. And we were approached by the consulate who had this vision. They had a dream that they would tap Filipino expats like Christina, Dado, and myself, and there was a smart group of talent in Silicon Valley. And now, it feels like we're passing our torch to this group, and there's many others. We've accomplished a lot here, and we're just trying to help. And so we're part of a community that cares about our homeland, and it's been rough, there's been economic and weather and earthquakes and typhoons and military coups. So we've gone through a lot together as a community to care about the homeland. Anyway, so thanks for coming. I just want to encourage all of you, these guys have a dream. It's one thing for them to pitch you on their business proposal, but this is what we dreamt would happen. When we first started this exercise close to 20 years ago, we couldn't find a startup, a business plan to mentor. We didn't know where to go. Now we have so many. Anyway, thank you for coming.